advisors, you have to have mentors, you have to have coaches, you have to have people who will help a company who are good in certain markets, who can be introducers to important people to get deals done. So the whole environment needs to be set up properly. In addition to that, you also need service type companies like lawyers, attorneys, accountants, professional people who are also willing to help out smaller companies. You gain those skills. We see those, of course, a lot in Silicon Valley over the years, but we're seeing that more and more in other locations.
Okay, I think we can take a couple of questions now to Stephen, since the topic is still hot a little bit. Do we have questions from the ladies? Okay, till they find the mic. Any question from here? Okay. Till you find the mic, I have another point that, I mean, does the innovation require economic value? What about the social value? We're talking about value creation. Does it require that it would be, innovation would be in return of money?
So, people get confused, I think, that the better entrepreneurs, the better innovators I know are trying, whether it's for a for-profit company or a not-for-profit company, the product or service that they're working on is primarily there to serve society and do good for society. Once you're onto something like that, you're going to be successful. Now, you may be successful as a not-for-profit, you may be successful as a for-profit, but the whole point is not to start off with the intent of making money. The whole purpose is to do good for society, to provide a product or service that consumers or business people or some section of humanity is in need of. And once you're doing that and you have a compelling business proposition, then you'll be able to be successful. How you set your company up, in fact, I'm now teaching a course in social entrepreneurship, not for profits. Some of the students at Stanford would like to set up those kinds of things. There are many students who want to set their companies up as more capitalistic and for profits. But first find and get on to what is going to be good for society and what is your value proposition.
Okay, any questions from here? Yes, please. First question, I think we'll have a free application to be incubated by Badr, just to encourage people. Okay. I think we need the logistic here. We need the mic here upstairs. Forget about men. We have a lot of questions from females, I think. وصلك المايك?
Yes, I don't know. Is it working? Okay. First of all.
لا وصلك المايك؟ لا no, I'm sorry لأنه من أول بينتظروا الأخوات. دكتور.
Is it you're talking to me or somebody upstairs?
لا, I'm talking upstairs. I'm sorry because they are waiting long. I think we have a problem with the logistic here. Yeah, go ahead, please. The gaps in our national innovation ecosystem.
Okay, so the gaps. Dr. Abdulaziz chronicled the progress that's been made and some of the gaps, but the progress that's been made just in the last few years of closing some of those gaps has been good. You know, for example, 2 years ago, I don't think we even mentioned even the word seed capital or angel investing. And now, in part, I think that we're starting to see some of those types of investment vehicles here in country. One gap is to have start to have some models of very successful entities that have gone on to achieve commercial success and are starting to see some revenue. And Dr. Turki and Dr. Abdulaziz mentioned, I think, a couple of companies that can be considered to be role models. For the most part, the biggest gap is having the experience base of, as I was mentioning earlier, advisors, mentors, people who are teaching, instructing entrepreneurship in the business classes and in and around the PhD and master's programs at the various universities, so that those inventors, those technical people, have some of the background that's necessary to be able to get their products productized and then out into the marketplace commercialized.
We have a question here with the men. الأخ اللي كان أول معلش آسف تفضل. I think we have a mic, but I don't know. We have a questions here and the mic on the other side. So in the middle, لو سمحت في النص هناك.
Here comes the mic.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much for your lecture. My question, and I'm just looking for short answers because it might seem that it requires lots of answers. But really, what is the best way to take an idea to success? So an idea that if someone has an idea that he thinks that it's really has potential to serve whether a local need or global need. So first of all, is there a single way to do things, or what is if there are multitude of ways to accomplish that, what is the best way? Is it incubation? What is the role of incubators, by the way, in a nutshell? Funding, seed funds, or venture, or whatever. So I'm sorry it looks like a long question, but...
So you should take my 10-week course on venture viability. I'm now going to try to give this to you in 30 seconds or less. Okay. An idea is always a good thing to have, but of course it's not enough, as you just point out. There are many ways to reach success. The most important part is to take that idea and get it out and show it to customers. If you can build a prototype or something, be able to show it to potential customers or people who might be able to use that and get a lot of good feedback. When you start off with an idea, you really know nothing about the marketplace, and the best thing to do is get out and immerse yourself into the marketplace and get a lot of feedback. And then surround yourself with some people who you trust and who are good in your specific area, so that you can iterate with each other as you build a case for bringing value.
We have a room for one last question. Dr. Khan?
My name is Muhammad Khurram Khan. I am Associate Professor at King Saud University. I have actually two questions. One question is about the Technology Accelerator Program. Do we have any program in Saudi Arabia for this? And my second question is about the STI ecosystem in Saudi Arabia. Okay, we have a very good program for the local researchers who are doing a lot of innovation in Saudi Arabia. But if you see the Silicon Valley and other valleys in the world, they are open for international researchers and international the people who have ideas. And we are seeing that global competitive index of Saudi Arabia is growing every year. If you see the report of 2012, then it is again improved. And the thing is that by becoming 2025, by becoming the knowledge-based economy, so does this program absorb international people who have some innovative ideas, so who can come here and start up their businesses, start up companies, and this kind of stuff. Thank you very much.
I think I should defer to you, Dr. Mohammed, on this question.
I think we're talking about the accelerator here. Badr, if there is an entity within Saudi Arabia or even within CACS who could play this role, I think it will be Badr. But not at the stage, up to my knowledge, that they have an accelerator. They may do it through Taqniya, which is, I think, will be more capable of handling such task. But for now, nothing up to my knowledge. Maybe Dr. Abdulaziz Al-Hargan, do we have any study or to envision how we're going to implement technology accelerator? Within Badr. Okay. So okay, so they have one in Badr on a small scale, and they are establishing another one in with King Abdulaziz or with the Chamber of Commerce. Yeah.
Yes.
Tafadhal.
Ahlan. I have a question about, I mean, we have a private equity company, and we are in the process of setting up a VC company to invest in startups. Now, the question is that there is difficulty in Saudi Arabia to bring outside talent, in a short notice and so on. So there is a lot of infrastructural hurdles in front of companies who would like to. Now, I'm wondering two things. One, if, let's say, I mean, because it seems that incubation is entwined with technology. So if one is going to go into technology, from your research about Saudi Arabia, since you had interest and you are present, is there a sufficient pool of talent in the country to develop people with an idea that have a global reach? Or is it, should we make it open where we can bring talent from all over the world and create an environment, conducive of it growing and becoming a global entity? Thank you.
Okay, well, that's a far-reaching question. Certainly, it depends upon the goals that the kingdom has, and I want to compliment you on not just being involved with private equity, but also forging a trail with venture capital. There are 7 billion people now in the world, and at least the people in the U.S. and Silicon Valley and some of the ones that in Seoul, Korea, the ones that I visited in Tokyo, I just came from Tokyo and other places, now realize that their businesses that they start up can no longer just be regional in nature for their own locations. Their businesses are going to become global, and they need to be very aware of the different nuances that their products and services need to have to deal with global issues. In the people and the resources that I have, and I have already colleagues from SRI here in the crowd today, and we're in country so much, you have fantastic resources in human capital, the willingness to achieve, the talent pool for certain to succeed if you want to. The issue is, do you want to start up companies that are going to be very good in country and in the kingdom only, or for the Gulf region, or do you want these companies to be successful on the worldwide stage? If it's for the worldwide stage, then the people who are going to be involved in sales and in marketing and business development in particular in these startup companies need to have had the experience and the ability to travel and interact with all of these consumers and business people for these products. If it's simply going to be for the kingdom, then that won't be necessary. But I think it would be a shame not to take advantage of the talent pool that's here that seems to me to be high achievers and ambitious to do well on the worldwide stage.